thumb here, and I have got a clear plastic sheet. I've just used my scraper tool here to really press it onto my mat. And now I'm getting my scan and cut out because I'm gonna make myself a birthday cake topper. Now, before I go any further, just a reminder, I'm sure you already know, but just to be clear, the ScanNCutDX, none of the ScanNCuts are food safe. So if you're doing something food related, remember they are not food safe. They are not made to work with kitchen stuff. So what I'm doing here, this will never actually touch my food. What I'm doing here is a little cake topper. We're gonna say, okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and load my mat like so. Okay. By the way, that warning there was because I had been using the feed roller, which I am not using at this time, so we don't have to worry about that. Grab my stylus and off we go. So I am celebrating myself by making myself a cake topper. And if I don't like this idea or material, I'll just grab another. So what I'm going to go down in here, you've already seen me use this file this month, I know, but it's a month to celebrate and I'm using it again. So I'm just going to keep it the size it is, and then I'm going to add pattern. We're going to go into alphabet, and I am partial to this one here. We're going to go to numbers and only one number at a time, and repeat, add pattern. And this is how you add anything. Now, why am I adding this one at a time? Well, I will tell you. I am going to add one number at a time because I want to be able to independently move these around and size them. And if they were put in together, they would be one. So now we go into edit, and I'm going to size this up. We're going to size it up. Let's see. Let's make it about 2 inches tall. And this one, I'm thinking about 2 inches tall as well. Okay, that should work. Okay. Then I'm going to go in here, and I am trying to make sure that both of these are overlapping with the design that I have here. And I'm going to push this button here. Let's see. And I'm going to zoom all the way in. This is a feature I really like. So these two buttons here, this will take us up and down and left to right. Right, okay, I just need to go over a little more. But this button here, so we can press this, and these buttons up here, so this is going to allow me to move things around. And what I really appreciate about that is that, and actually now that I'm looking at this and thinking about it, I'm a little concerned that it needs to be bigger. So I'm going to say, okay. So we're going to exit out of there, and we're going to go back into object edit. So the reason I am concerned it needs to be bigger is I think that when I actually pull this together, let's make it 3 1/4. That seems a lot bigger. When I pull this together, I want to make sure that it's balanced on the little sticks. So what I will do, like I said, not food safe, we're not going to let it touch food. I will use some cake sticks that are food safe to attach this to my cake so that I'm not using anything that's going to be bad or cause any problems or, you know, do anything silly that's not going to work well. So what I'm going to do now is go back in the zoom here, and I'm just sending my file down a little bit here and over a little bit here. There we go. And the same thing for the 0. Now you can do as much or as little editing as you want. It's really up to you. I just want to really just get in here and get picky. Can you do this on the computer in Canvas workspace? Yes, yes, you can if you would prefer. Me, I like to do this in here because, and I want to move this over a little more. So I'm going to move this down over. I like to do it here because I don't have to go turn on the computer. I can just, and actually I'm going to have those two numbers attached. So I'm going to say like there, and then I'm going to go here and push this button. This red button will pick all of the files. Then when we go to Object Edit, if we push this button here, it will unify them. Oop, that doesn't work. Excuse me while I go back in and reselect everybody. Object Edit. And this button here will take away any overlap. And it's going to ask me, is this okay? And not only is it going to ask me, but look, we can see what Celebrate is going to look like. We can see what this is going to do, what this is going to appear. And you can even zoom in. So if you're not real sure, do I like this? I don't know. You can zoom way in. And me, yeah, I like it. I like it just right there. So I'm going to say okay. I'm going to say okay. And now we're just following the prompts as always, out of editing and into cutting. And in this instance, half cut is off, which is what we want. We always want to check that. And notice that my pressure and speed are on auto. I always just use the auto. I've never had a problem with that. I know some people prefer to have more control. And if that's the case, you can definitely do that. But now we just wait for it to cut. This turned out so beautiful, but as I'm looking at it, so ScanNCutDX will cut up to 3 millimeters thick. And this is a nice plastic, but it's not quite heavy or thick enough to really stand up. And I think this part is going to just wobble a little bit more than I'd like. So I pulled out some chipboard and I cut that out. You can see it here. Look how nice that looks. So this I will use in my scrapbook. I'll make this a scrapbook decoration. I'll put some alcohol inks on it and it'll be really colorful and beautiful. But because I'm focused on a little cake decoration here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some white paint just to prime this, and I'm just going to paint it with different colors of paint here. Just nothing, no special technique wise, just getting it coated. Because it is so fine, I am just taking care that I am not going too rough in the sensitive areas here, these little areas where there's not a lot of material to hang on to. And I'm just scooping up any leftover paint that falls. I'm working on a paper towel just to save my work surface here. And I'm just getting a light layer of white down first so that when I put my colors on, the colors will be working over a white base instead of having to try to fight with that darker craft color of the chipboard to get seen. With the white on, you can see I've dabbed on other colors of paint and I've still got white on my paintbrush, and that's okay with me because I want to make kind of a funky layered look to my colors. So I'm going top to bottom here and just brushing ever so lightly to spread that color on, and I'll keep going back as needed. Okay. Oh, and it looks like I picked up a little purple prematurely, so I'll wipe that off. Get all of these different pinks and such, and then work in the opposite direction, spreading up. So I'm just trying to make like a real wild, fun, colorful thing here. And then I will go back through as needed. The paint dries really quickly, so I'll just keep going back through as needed to make adjustments to the colors. And I really just want something bright and fun, and I think this is it. This definitely says celebration, don't you think? And once this is done and dry, I can glue it to some food safe picks and get the party started. Get the cake out and have some fun. I hope that you've enjoyed this quick little tutorial. Remember, you could do this with pretty much any surfaces. It could be paper, it could be cardstock, it could be, as I used here, chipboard and plastic. Basically, if it'll fit in the Scan and Cut, you can go for it. If it's less than 3 millimeters and it's cuttable, have some fun with it. I know I sure have, and I've loved sharing this with you. So thanks for tuning in.